Papa. And tweet. Alright. Okay. Appears to be working. Let's make sure the windows are okay. Now I do have the camera over here somewhere. I don't know if it's gonna be okay or not. We'll see when the game actually starts. Okay. I never played this before. So, new game. What's a gauntlet? Okay, I don't know what gauntlet it is, but let's go to story. Greetings, player. Welcome to the world of Titan, in particular the most notorious of all lands, Alancia. I'm Moriana, the Keeper of Souls, your guide and your game master of sorts. Game master, so it's like a dungeon master? Not that I ever played it, but I have played Dungeon Master, yeah. Many adventurers have entered Firetop Mountain over the last 30 or so years. Voracious? Actually, I don't know how to pronounce that. Readers have wandered the many passages, battling the monsters within and negotiating the many traps. Only then to take on the might of Zago, the Warlock. Okay, so Zalog is... the Warlock is the enemy. I thought that we were the Warlock. 1 second. Okay. Ooh. I'm preparing tea. Is it tea? Yeah, it is tea. Right. With skill, stamina, and luck, they have chosen their many paths and rolled their fate. Many of these brave young adventurers have perished in the darkness, and their souls even now lie unclaimed. You appear to be the next brave soul to take on the mountain and all it contains. To do this, you will need to choose an Alancian hero to take into the mountain. So, I'm assuming the mountain has room for a human or more. Okay. Don't get too comfortable with your choice, however, as the ways are treacherous and it is doubtful that you will survive. Only by bringing me the souls of the fallen may you be blessed with new heroes over time, each with their own quests within Zago's domain. So it sounds like bit like Demon Souls. Doesn't look like the Demon Souls. Okay. This is your character. Can I zoom in? No. Next group. Interpret. She looks like yogurt from Spaceballs. Okay. So you have to unlock them. Okay. $600. Buy? No. Okay. Let's go back to the ones we can play with. Right. Lunica Cadi, I presume. Can explore especially of the bustling cities that she had previously thought were only legend. Every new person, place or object she encounters is thoroughly questioned, explored and examined before she rises on to the next exciting discovery. Her endless enthusiasm can be tiring for adventurous companions who take their civilized surroundings for granted. She tends to keep is it loud or is it just me? She tends to keep a memento from each new location she visits, keeping them in her pack or hanging them from her armor. Keen eye. Notice things that would normally be unseen or ignored, and dexterous, has great speed, agility and precision. Yeah, I don't know, is it 17 out of what? 20? 30? 100? Attacks. Single strike. Okay, so probably turn-based. Left attack. Left slash. Poison strike. Okay. Let's check the others. Decian Strom. A soldier for hire, Decian Strom earns his living escorting merchant wagons to and from Sardath, the city of his birth. An arrogant but skilled warrior, Decian always looks out for himself first. When bandits ambushed his convoy on the road to Zengis, Declan was forced to fight his way to safety at a nearby village. Near penniless and far from home, the mercenary is looking for his next big payday. Has great speed, agility, and precision. Not okay. Here's the thing. I really don't like this type of personality, characteristic in personality. The arrogance, I mean, it's just really. Ugh. Single strikes. I'm confused why they cannot attack left. I do like that his crossbow one. Ooh, she looks angry. I like the purple. The warrior known as Alexandra of Blacksand is famed for her many adventures. Her name is known in many parts of Alancia. No matter where she is, Alexandra has a knack for sniffing out trouble and gold. An experienced adventurer with a deft sword arm. What's deft? I don't know. Let me check. Might be good, might be bad, might be something totally irrelevant. Neatly skillful and quick in one's movements, demonstrating skill and cleverness. Sounds like me. Right? Yes. Of course. Okay, close that. Second Sense demonstrated from the Haven has built up a good reputation for completing quests quickly and diplomatically, reducing the need for unnecessary conflict. Has an above average level of education. Fortune favors you often. Christ. I like her. Single strike. Two enemies directly in front. Okay, so kind of a long range attack, I guess, or middle range. And Aran Godspeed. Anyway. Born in Fang. What's that? Many moons ago, Aran is seen as a hero to the locals here. His approach in battle is simple and direct. Charge forwards. Okay. chopping left and right with such force and speed so as to quickly put his enemy off balance. Should they manage to sneak a blow in under this onslaught, it was a good game. To likely brush off Iron's impressive physique as if it were a scratch. I see what they did there. How Aaron's mother, a diminutive seamstress, managed to produce such a gigantic warrior is anyone's guess. I assume he was once a baby. One popular theory is that Giant's blood runs in his veins through some distant ancestor. Illiterate. Reading is not your strong suit. Fearsome. Terrifying appearance can strike fear into others. Okay. I have to say I like her more. Oh wait. Are there more there? What? Ah, wait. What's the special attack of her? Is it the quick jab? I think. Or not? Attributes. Alright, let's select her. Take Alexandra of Blacksand into the mountain. This will erase any current plague. Yeah. You have chosen Alexandra of Blacksand, a wise choice for your first game, player. Before entering the mountain, I want you to visit the one-armed swordmaster of Fanville, Lin Wen Chai. He'll teach you the basics of combat, what you need to know if your hero is to survive Zagur's domain. Okay. During your adventures, you will encounter many different foes, magical and monstrous. Brigand and Beast, there will be an assortment of creatures lurking within Firetop Mountain, eager to bring your adventure to a premature end. But let us learn to walk before we start running, shall we? Lin Wen Chai wants you to fight some queens. It's a queen. I don't want to fight the queens if I don't know what the queens are. Let's see. Quintains. Poetry. Quaint is or a pendast is any form of 5 lines. I don't think that's it. In jousting it means something else. It doesn't help. Alright, let's fight the pendastics. Ooh. Ooh, hot. During combat you can choose to move or attack by selecting space. Where's the mouse? Select move to advance towards the quintain. Okay. After you select your action, both you and your opponent play out their moves simultaneously. Okay. Move to the side to avoid the quaint's attack. Or rather attack him, right? Okay. How does it move? Anyway, sometimes it is better to attack where the enemy is likely to move to instead of where they currently are. Oh, I'm not sure I like that. Where's the mouse again? Attack the space in front of the queen. How do we know he'll go there? Outside of the tutorial, I mean. If both you and a foe try to attack each other at the same time, you'll clash. It is then a test of who has the greater skill with the loser taking damage. So if you have a greater skill, you might as well just keep attacking, right? Attack the queen and clash. Oh. Your enemies will move and attack. I don't know what happened there. in somewhat predictable patterns. Pay attention to when they shake to indicate that they will be attacking. Next sound. These are movement attacks to defeat the queen. Okay. I like how it shows the health of the piece down there. So I don't get hurt. Okay, the enemy had higher number, but I still don't get. I don't get it. I don't get it. In addition to the basic attacks, the hero has special attacks they can unleash. These powerful attacks can take several turns to recharge, so use them sparingly. 1 second. Okay. Defeat this pair of queens. How can I don't know. Alright, let's move there. Is the piercing attack a special move? Okay. 2-4. Okay, we can take it out. Take him out. So this will move that way. Let's attack again. Okay. Oh, he thought I was going. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. He's looking that way. Can I go there? No. Alright, let's try the quick jab. Four times, alright. Okay, I get that. But let us learn to walk before we start running, shall we? Lin Wen Chai wants you to fight some queens, which will allow you to experience how combat... Sorry. You've defeated the queens, okay. You lost no stamina and gained 3 souls. Congratulations, you have passed the basic combat training. Just one more thing, player. While on your quest, keep an eye for wooden benches like this one. Okay. So, looks like a trap. Using them will allow you to restore your stamina. If you run out of stamina, your adventure ends. So be sure to take a rest now and then. You also have some provisions which you can use at any time, but they tend to work best when you are resting at a bench. So keep that in mind. Oh, I like that. Though I'm not sure. Are provisions. Do provisions help your stamina or what? You receive 3 resurrection stones at the start of your quest. If your adventurer dies heroically, you can use 1 stone to bring them back to life. Be warned though that your hero will only appear at the last bench that you passed. You'll also lose any souls that you absorb between the seat and the location of their death. This is where I leave you, player. It is time for you to begin your journey. Lovely. The villagers of Vanville with excitement as you cheered. I missed cheered. Cheered with excitement as you began your 2-day hike to Firetop Mountain. Cries of "Return us safely, Alexandra," and "May the luck of the gods be with you" rang out. Your fame reaches even to remote towns like Anvil. Your mysterious patron, I wish I had one, a sorcerer known to you only as Kith, wants you to seek a massive ruby known as the Eye of the Cyclops and give it to Zagor, the Warlock who rules this mountain. When you ask Kith about the significance of the ruby, the sorcerer only smiled and said, "You'll see." The citizens who live in the foothills of the mountain fear Zagor and have been very reluctant to tell you anything that may help you find him, fearing for their own safety. You have mixed feelings about the adventure ahead, and you just hope that Kith's instructions are honorable and do not let the local people down. One thing is clear though, you will not be dealing with any ordinary wielder of magic. You must be on your guard. It takes you 2 days to reach the menacing looking mountain with its sharp rocky crags. Okay, what's a crag? Crag. A steep, ragged mass of rock projecting upward or outward, especially a cliff or vertical rock exposure in the north of England or in Scotland. That jut out at unnatural angles. At the top you can see the eerie red coloring, probably some savage vegetation, which has given the mountain its name. What? You approach a cave, a known entrance used by a local band of orcs. Your hand gripping the hilt of your long sword as you consider. I missed that word. As you consider what dangers might lie ahead, your adventure starts here. Nice. Peer into the gloom. Oh, what? You see dark, slimy walls with pools of water on the stone floor in front of you. The air is cold and dank. Hearing faint scurrying to the east, you light your lantern. With the smell of orc up my nose, I have a feeling I'm going to meet some formidable foes. That ruby is in the mountains somewhere, so I'm going to have to ask politely, use my sword, of course. Step warily into the blackness. You stand in a dark, slimy cave entrance. Can I check the... Okay. You stand in a dark, slimy cave entrance. Slimy cave entrance. Okay. Approach the fork ahead. Oh, I love this. After a few yards, you arrive at a junction. 10 west or 10 east. Okay. I don't know, let's go. Right, let's go west. A little way along the passageway, you come to what's clearly a sentry post. Man, the art is beautiful. The art. You approach with caution and can see an orc in leather armor asleep at his post. Seriously, that's beautiful. I hope all of Zagre's minions are this lazy. This could be my quickest adventure yet. Yeah, I'm sure of that. Careful approach the sleeping orc. As he is asleep, it should be no trouble for you to wake him so you can get some information. So orcs are not automatically enemies. How clever is it? I don't think it's wise to wake him up, a guard, so that we can get the... He's not going to give us information on how to steal a ruby, is he? Try to tiptoe. Taking a deep breath, you try to tiptoe past the sleeping orc. Am I supposed to click on it? Skillful. You need a score of 10 or under and roll the score of 8. Shouldn't I know this? I don't get it. You safely tiptoe past the sleeping orc. Wow, this game has lots of text. I didn't think of that. The passageway begins to widen until you enter a cave. However, blocking the cave's exit are two of the ugliest creatures you have ever seen. They have the proportions of dogs, but their hide is rough and scaly. Each beast is chained to the cave wall, secured to the thick brass collars. The two orc hounds begin to snarl and strain at their chains. They cannot reach you, but their chains are long enough that should you approach you, will not be able to escape the slavering jaws. I've come across these poor creatures before on previous quests. Orcs generally don't treat them very well, which can make them quite vicious. You're going to have to deal with them quickly, one way or another, before they attract the attention of an orc patrol, or maybe something even worse. 2 orc patrols? Okay, so we can distract with some food and do what has to be done. Let's try to do some food. The orc hounds wait expectantly. Remembering your education on the Beast of Titan, you think back to the notes of orc hounds. Although vicious, they are easily distracted as long as you have the right trait. Giant aardwolf meat. What do you want to offer the animals? Portion of your provision, joint of meat. Let's try this, even though... Okay, let's see, I don't know. Does this mean that you have to use that kind of treat only? That meat? Which apparently I don't have. Taking out a portion of your provisions, you throw the food towards the orc hounds. The hungry animals fight over the food for a moment and then take the choicest pieces to devour on opposite sides of the cave. Not hesitating for a second, you quickly pass between them. However, one of the orc hounds gobbles down the food more quickly than the other, and as you pass by it, lands at you, catching your calf with one of its vicious tusks. Come on, I clicked. Loses stamina. Okay, so stamina is life. Continue onward. Alright. Leaving the cave as quickly as you can, you follow the new passageway as it turns north. What did it change color? Set against the wall is a wooden bench where you may rest. Player, I would strongly advise sitting on this bench. If you do not, Alexander of Blacksand will not be able to resurrect on this location if they perish. Alright. You sit down on the bench and rest for a moment. Your aching muscles ease and your tiredness wanes. It is good to take a break on your adventure. That's 5 stamina. To your left, it's a hot tea, Earl Grey tea. To your left, on the west face of the passage, there is a rough-cut wooden door. You listen at the door and can hear a rasping sound, which may be some sort of creature snoring. You arrive at another door. You listen at it, but hear nothing. Can you zoom in? No. The door opens to reveal a small room with a stone floor and dirty walls. There is a stale smell in the air. In the center of the room, a makeshift wooden table on which is standing a little candle. Under the table is a small box. In the far corner of the room is a straw mattress. There are carved runes on the box. Due to your excellent education, you can roughly translate these into snake surprise. As you pick it up, something rattles within. Why did you open it? I like how you can... Okay. So I assume this is purely cosmetic, but I like it either way. So if I have it like this, will the next one also be black and white? You open the lid and a small snake pops out of the box, eager to bite your wrist. Achievement unlocked. Oh, peanut brittle. Discovered an old orcish street. Even though you are surprised, you manage to dodge them. Okay. Fight! Five, 3, so you can't take it out. I assume the table is an obstacle. That was clever. The box has fallen to the ground during your fight with the snakes. There appears to be nothing else inside it. It must have been a practical joke made by one of the orcs. You decide to continue to head deeper into the orcs' barracks. The tunnel turns eastward and then splits. Well, I assume the ruby is like at the top, right? Still, let's have a look. Oh, you follow the passage as it slopes downwards until you find yourself at the corner of a large chamber. The architecture suggests that this was originally made by dwarven hands, but it has clearly been repurposed by the orcs. It appears to have been turned into some kind of training hall. Dotted around the chamber are a number of wooden posts that bear the marks of axes and other weapons. Cacophonous din echoes around the hall, as green-skinned creatures in leather armor either strike the posts of their swords with their swords or each other with wooden... Oh, come on, man! I don't know what that is. Let's see. A short, thick stick used as a weapon. How do you pronounce it? Cudgel. Okay. We guess this is what passes for a training session of the Brutish orcs. If I keep the shadows at the edges of the hall, I might be able to enter unseen. At the eastern end of the chamber there are two doors. Halfway along the north wall of the hall is another doorway secured by an iron gate. Creep to the iron wall, sneak to the door. What? The orcs are so engrossed in what they are doing and making so much noise while they are doing it that they do not notice you as you make your way to the iron gate, open it, and enter the small room beyond. At its center stand what looks like scarecrows made of battered armor. The supporting poles sunk in a strange arrangement of wooden cogs and gears. As the gate swings shut behind you, the training quaints shudder as you activate. Your education has taught you about such strange constructs. These quaints are constructed by magical means by sorcerers for training their troops. You brace yourself for an attack. Fight the quaints. Ah, they're magical, that makes sense. Not the most exciting of enemies, I guess. Man, hot tea is really good. Okay, I assume I'm gonna move there. Okay, tell you what. 9, wow, they're good. Okay, an idea. It's okay. Can take him out. Alright, now. He's going that way. The quaints eventually grind to a halt, your blows having irreparably ruined the wooden workings. You find nothing of use in the training room. Yeah, let's leave. Making your way back to the western side of the hall, you decide to take the northerly of the two exits available to you, reasoning that this one will take you deeper into the mountain more quickly. You arrive at the end of the passage at a three-way junction. Let's do this. You listen at the door and hear angry shouting from within. After all, we're here to take a ruby, right? You arrive at another junction in the passage. Let's check this out here. The passage ends at a solid wooden door with metal hinges. Listening at the door, you hear strange mutterings and the clatter of what could be pots and pans. Whatever is in there are several of them. The passageway leads into a square dungeon chamber. There are 2 doors in the eastern wall and 2 in the western wall. On the opposite side of the room, another passageway leads away north. The first door to the right is well used, and putting your ear to the keyhole, you listen and hear a man screaming for help from the inside. Before deciding what to do next, you listen at the other doors as well. From behind the second door to the right, you hear a thumping sound in the wood. Hello? Hello? Not funny, open the door. The first door to the left is made of solid metal. Listening to the door, you hear the sound of torture screams coming from within. Putting your ear to the second door to the left, you hear nothing. The Eye of the Cyclops is unlikely to be in a dungeon cell, but you never know. Okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can help the person to the right first. There's no one here. You unbolt the door and swing it open. A nauseating stench hits your nostrils. Inside the room, the floor is covered with bones, rotting vegetation, and slime. A wild-haired old man, clothed in rags, rushes at you, screaming. Oh, so beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. His beard is long and grey, and he is waving an old wooden chair leg. Is he simply insane as he appears, or this has been some kind of trap? Try to shout at him and calm him down. You shout, "You are freed, old man," at the top of your voice. Instantly, his ranting ceases. He stops dead in his tracks and sinks to the floor, weeping loudly. Alexandra of Blacksand, finally a familiar face. You have my eternal gratitude. As he gradually composes himself, he thanks you many times. Many years ago, he was an adventurer like you in the search of the Warlock's treasure. He was captured by the orcs and thrown into... How does he know me then? He was captured by the orcs and thrown into his solitary cell as a sort of pet for the creatures. This must be the Iron Dagar that I have heard about. There have been many tales told of this great warrior. Sadly, his time in confinement has not been kind to him. You ask the man about the Eye of the Cyclops. His memory is poor after so long in isolation, but he says he has heard of such a thing. Rumors of an immense gem powering an evil construct which draws life from demonic power. I always thought it was just a superstitious rumor though. That's one luck. Leave it. Yeah, let's try this one. The door is not locked and opens. The room in front of you seems to be a small torture chamber with various torture devices around the walls. In the center of the room, 2 small hunchbacked goblins are having their fiendish way with a dwarf, who is tied to a hook in the ceiling by the wrists. The 2 hunchbacks are poking and cutting him viciously with their swords. The dwarf lets out a final scream and falls silent, eyes closed. His captors make disappointed noises and look around angrily at you, as if it were your fault that the dwarf has collapsed. I can't let the goblins get away with such barbaric practices. Draw your weapon and fight the creatures. The 2 evil creatures give a loud shriek as they rush forward to attack you. Readying your weapon, you dive into battle. Fight the goblins. Fight! Alright. 5-4. 5-4. I think I can... Yeah, I can attack. No, I cannot. Oh yeah, I can attack left. Why did I lose stamina? No, he's going there. He's not going there. You cut down the dwarf. With the last of his strength, he opens his eyes, looks at you, then looks downward. His eyes close again, and this time he breathes his last. You gently rest the dead dwarf on the floor. What will you do now? Bravely? You search the bodies of the two dead goblins. As you go through their pockets, you find a large piece of sweet-smelling cheese. I like cheese, but I don't know if I would take it from goblins. You take the cheese, who knows, might just come in handy, or candy. You decide to leave the torch chamber before you... No, let's set the... Alright. Yeah, do that. Oh, that doesn't look good. As you approach the door, the banging gets louder and the bolt starts to shake. Come on! So which is the silent one, the G or the N? Let's go for the G. Come on, Nirk. Let out. Let out? Waking up. Sliding back the rusty bolt and opening the door, you come face to face with a panicked-looking goblin with a horrific creature closing in behind it. Slime beast, run! Squeaks the panicked goblin and lashes out at you. The toad-like slime beast joins in on the fray, opening its wide mouth. It's full of long, spiked teeth. Slime beast 7554. Looks like it's moving that way. Yeah, I can attack her, yeah. Oh, I don't like that. Okay. Oh, this is annoying. You don't like it now, do you? Initially, it looks as though there is nothing of value in the slime beast's cell. However, upon a second glance, you notice a blue candle sitting in the muck. Take it. Although it is an odd place for a candle, you decide to take it with you. It may come in handy in one of the darker areas of the mountain. You put it in your backpack. The door is unlocked. Opening it, you find yourself at the threshold of the works weapons store. A torch hangs from one wall, lighting up a small armory room stocked with swords, shields, helmets, daggers, breastplates, and the like. Absolutely love this. A circular iron shield with a golden crescent lies at the far end of the room. However, as you do not use the shield, it is worthless to you. You poke around the room. The weapons are blunted and worthless, and the helmets are battered and rusty. You decide to inspect the breastplates on the shelves to see if there is anything worthwhile there. You examine the breastplates and the shelves thoroughly, but there appears to be nothing of value. Damn it. Exiting the dungeon, you hear the sound of water ahead of you and make out a grilled portcullis. A strong, heavy grating that can be lowered down grooves on the each side of a gateway to block it. What? A strong, heavy okay. So it's a grated doorway. Can be lowered. Alright. How do you say it? Portcullis. Okay. Portcullis. Exiting the dungeon, you hear the sound of water ahead of you and make out a grilled portcullis at the end of the passageway. Before you can reach the portcullis, you'll have to cross a bridge that passes over a gully of gargling brackish water. You suspect it may actually be a sewer, judging by the smell rising from it. As you make your way towards the bridge, you pass some goblins, which appear uglier than all the creatures you have encountered so far. One of the goblins spots you and its eyes turn wide. Black sand, black sand, it exclaims and begins to run towards you. Keep your weapon sheathed. The tiny creature runs up towards you and begins to hug your leg. It is pleased to see you. Black sand, it wails with glee over and over. It seems that this goblin has heard of you and became a fan. That's no way to deal with it. I'm getting tired of this, let's go, idiot. Dude. The goblin only grips tighter. Black sand, black sand. You whack it. Dude! You whack it on the head with your sword hilt, and the creature loosens its grip, dazed. With a final valiant shake, you send the goblin off the bridge and into the sour flow below. What the? Why? Why? Oops. I'm sure the goblin will be fine. Most of them can swim. Oh man. And I thought the other one was gonna be bad. What do... You arrive at the end of the passage. An iron portcullis blocks your way and no amount of charging is going to budge it. Why do I like the black and white more? On the wall to your right are two levers, and it seems likely that these two levers have something to do with raising the portcullis. To your horror, that's not going to be good, is it? You realize that this dummy lever was a trap. Although it looked like a handle, it was in fact a wax-coated sword blade, and it has now cut your hand badly. I use my left hand. Although you're injured, you're also fortunate. This was not your sword hand, meaning that the injury is not quite so important. Oh dude, that's not good. Gingerly, you pull the right lever. You hear the deep rumbling noise and the ground begins to shudder. Slowly and noisily, the portcullis rises into the ceiling. With hesitation, you walk towards the junction, listening carefully. Ooh. Why do I prefer the black and white? Suddenly, a terrified young man runs into you. His white rune-embroidered robes are torn and smudged with dirt. He looks at you with panic in his wide eyes. I yield. Education is not worth this much danger, no matter how great the reward. You calm the young student down and he begins to relax. My name is Ian the White, he says. I'm a humble acolyte seeking entry to the School of Sorcery. We learned that he gained entry but was deemed unworthy by the elemental masters. Excuse me. I wonder if this fellow knows where the eye is located. Ask the young acolyte if they know the whereabouts of the ruby that you seek. He becomes frightened once more when you mention the name. Yes, I know this eye that you seek. It belongs to the Cyclops himself, who resides in what is left of the dwarven halls over to the east. Follow the passage and whatever you do, always make sure you stay heading east. There you'll find it. The young man points down the passageway before pushing past you and running off. You try to catch up with him, asking for more information, but he darts out the portcullis and you enter earlier. There's no point chasing him back through there. I should continue eastwards to try and find the Cyclops. Oh, beautiful. Cautiously, you creep along the passageway. After a short time, you reach a fork in the path, with the path continuing northwards. Eastwards, you can see a broad stone bridge. Oh, that's good. At the fork, there is a bench of solid wood, and above the bench, a sign reads, "Rest ye here, weary traveler." That robed fellow told me to keep heading east, but maybe I should have a small rest first. Rest and consume? Yes. You sit down on the bench and take out a portion of provisions from your pack. Your moment of rest combined with your healthy provisions make you feel much better. Plus 10 stamina, okay. While this rest is appreciated, I shall press on quickly. That eye is close, I can feel it. Excuse me, just tired and hungry now. You follow the path to the east. Soon enough you arrive at a broad but cracked stone bridge which leads... How is this game an action game? I don't know. Which leads over a yawning subterranean chasm. On the other side of the bridge you can see an archway carved to resemble a huge dwarven head. With no other option, you start across the bridge. No sooner have you taken a few steps than the floor begins to crumble. You break into a run to avoid the crumbling floor. You need the score of 9 or under and roll the score of 3. Wait, so the smaller the better? You escape from the crumbling floor, okay. You sigh with relief. You can hear the masonry crashing down far below into the water. The sound vibrates around the chamber and you wonder what creatures you have stirred in the darkness beyond. Look over. Yeah, sure. You crawl to the edge and peer down into the gloom, your ear just making out the sound of rushing water below. Somewhere far off, deep in the crevice, you suddenly hear an unearthly wolf-like howl. Firetop Mountain seems full of strange surprises. Let's get up and continue. Reminds me of what game was that? Well, a mix of Diablo and dungeon seeds. The first one. The carved dwarven head archway looms ahead, and you marvel at its construction. The previous inhabitants of Firetop Mansion were obviously once proud of their home, as shown in this high level of artistry. The features look to have been chiseled into the rock face in a style that could only be of dwarven design. Dwarves never cease to amaze me in their skill and artistry. Doesn't look that good. It's a bit fuzzy. You enter the dwarven entrance hall. It is everything you expected, lined with tall stone columns that stretch into the darkness, intricately carved in the image of dwarven heroes of old. What? This stonework is incredible. I can see its beard hair. About halfway down the hall, you notice a path that leads off to the left, behind one of the statues. That heads in the opposite direction to where I need to be going. Maybe I can have a quick look. No. As you walk through the hall, you notice movement out of the corner of your eye. Something appears to be watching you. I have no time to chase strange creatures. I must find that eye. You reach a junction with 3 different passageways. With east still at the forefront of your mind, there is only one option you want to take. Continue along the passageway, heading east. Soon you come across another junction. Ahead to the east you can see a wooden door. The other passageway continues to the north. While the passageway looks interesting, I need to keep pushing east. It looks like I'll be opening that wooden door. You head east to the wooden door. Trying it, the door opens and you enter a small room. Your eyes widen as you look around to see that the walls of the room are covered in ornate stonework. Mosaics and marble inlays give this room a kind of beauty you have never seen before. In a corner of the room is a large metal statue of a one-eyed creature. In its single eye is a sparkling jewel. Oh my. A face only a mother would love. This has to be the eye of the Cyclops. Keith did not give you any advice on how to take the eye. You could perhaps prise it out of its socket with your sword. There's nothing else in the room and the only exit is the way you came in. Try to take it. It feels like a trap. You approach the statue cautiously. A scampering behind you makes you flash around, but it's only a rat. You feel at the jewel, but it is solidly in place. You try to prise it off, and as you walk, you hear an ominous creaking noise. To your horror, the statue is beginning to move. You jump down and draw your weapon. The iron Cyclops cranes its head round towards you and steps down from its pedestal. There's only one way you are going to get your hands off that ruby. Battle the Iron Cyclops. Drawing your weapon, you ready yourself for battle against this strange creature. Its ruby eye glints in the cave light as the animated statue twists its neck, searching for you. The heavy iron footsteps ring through the cave floor as it approaches, slowly at first, but quickly gaining speed as though getting used to its new body. It raises both hands, flashing its forked tongue, ready to strike. Let's fight. I'm not sure how a sword can fight this one. Okay. So it is 10 and 10. I wish I had a 10. So I assume it's gonna move right. Can I attack? No. What? Okay, so now keep attacking. Alright, move there. Okay. Okay, so how do I end turn? Losing. You are triumphant. You have defeated the Iron Cyclops. You sit back and rest from the exhausting battle. Worriedly, you approach the statue. The jewel glints in the light, tempting you. Keith, I know it's not funny, but I don't know, for some reason I find it funny. Keith wasn't wrong. The eye is certainly a thing of beauty. Take it. You prise the jewel from the steel statue, which is surprisingly heavy in your hand. The statue of the jewel. You put it in your bag. Now to deliver this lovely ruby to Zagor. I'm still not sure why I need to do this, but I have to trust Keith. Surely yet more fame and glory awaits me. Achievement unlocked. I don't believe it. That's okay. Cleft the eye of the Cyclops as Alexandra Black sent. Examine further. As you examine the statue, you notice that one of its breastplate section is loose. When you open this, you are surprised to discover that it is empty. Well, at least you still have the jewel. No. Is there more than one exit? Might be. You enter another room guarded by stone statues. The statues in this room look like fearsome dwarven warriors. There are two exits from this room. The door to the left sounds rather quiet, while the door on the right seems to have somebody talking behind it. And you try and reach Zagor quickly. The left door sounds more inviting. Alright. As you approach the left-hand door, there is a rumbling. Both stone statues move and come to life. They lumber away from the wall, clearly intent on stopping the intruder from proceeding any further. So maybe I have no choice in the matter. This could be tough. Oh. This looks like suicidal. 9-7, okay. Wow. The stone golems are now nothing more than a pile of rubble. You step over the remains and open the door to the next room. You are greeted by an eerie sight indeed. It is a corridor lined with many stone hands. They all seem to be reaching from the walls, but they remain completely motionless. You have an unpleasant feeling that these carvings are there for more than just decoration, especially judging by the previous traps you have encountered. These hands look quite ominous. Perhaps I need to use an object here. There appears to be a message carved in dwarven runes on the stone floor. Cautiously you begin to step through the hallway. Nothing seems to have happened. You relax and continue on through the corridor. Once you are about halfway through the corridor, the stone hands begin to stare. Suddenly they spring to life. Some of them detach from the wall and skid around naturally towards you, like great stone spiders. One leaps at you and you manage to dodge it, sending it crashing into the wall. However, this does not faze the hand, and it rushes immediately back at you. It looks like the only way you'll be able to get through them is to fight them. Okay, are they good? Are they not good? Okay, they're not great, but I don't know what type of attack they have. Where are they going? Okay, let's go there. Come on. Hey! Oh, this I don't like. Hey! Stop it. Okay. Better find some place to relax. You carry on through the passageway and enter into another room of similar size. This room is splendidly decorated with a polished marble floor and rough walls. There are a number of paintings hanging on the wall, and a dwarven woman is staring at them intensely, giggling madly. Her hair is unkempt and her clothes are ragged. Her eyes are sunken and tired, as though she has not slept for weeks. At her feet are an assortment of strange trinkets, small bones, teeth, gold pieces, bits of half-eaten food, and splintered pieces of wood. Some of these objects have been placed underneath various paintings. Master, look what Thomiel has brought for you today, she murmurs. Why would a dwarf be freely allowed to wander around here on her own? You ask the dwarf who she is talking to. She tries to stifle fits of giggling, then bursts into peals of shrieking laughter. Why, Thomiel is talking to the master, of course. Her eyes dart around the room as she chuckles to herself, then she nods. The master always is here. Here, there, everywhere. You ask who the master is. Suddenly the giggling stops. The voice coming out of Thomiel's mouth is no longer her own, but that of a deep baritone of a man. Alexandra of Blacksand, it sneers, the great hero of the Battle of Grey Rock, come to slay the terrifying Warlock of Firetop Mountain. You realize that Thomiel has been possessed and sent utterly mad. This poor dwarf is possessed, most likely by the Warlock. Poor Thomiel collapses to the ground and you find yourself dragged by some demonic force towards one of the paintings, that of Zagor himself. And out. Terrified of the Warlock's powerful magic, you run out of the room as fast as you can and slam the door shut behind you. You never want to enter the room again. Just up the passageway there is a small alcove in the rock. It seems a convenient hiding place, and a wooden bench is nestled within the alcove to allow for you to rest. Yep, definitely. Sit down, yeah. +10, okay. Can you not rest more? Before long you arrive at another junction, branching off to the east and the west. The passageway ends at a stairwell. At the top you find yet another wooden door, this time a small one with a carved bone handle. You listen but hear nothing coming from the inside. You try the handle and the door opens into a room with a sandy floor. You can hear the sound of fast flowing water. In one corner of the room is a pile of rubble, mainly stones and dust, but there are also two odd-shaped pieces of wood and a length of rope. The door in the north wall leads on. You pick up the rope. It looks normal. In fact, it looks as it might be quite useful. You open your pack and put it in. Suddenly it comes alive in your fingers, snakes quickly up your arm and attempts to wrap itself around your neck. You need to act fast to get it off. You need the score of 8 and under, and roll the score of 4. Good. As the rope tightens around you, you scream and struggle to reach for your weapon. Quickly but carefully you slice the rope, and it falls to the ground, still twitching as though alive. The enchanted rope is finally disposed of. There appears to be magic littered throughout Firetop Mountain. Either Zagor is careless or he is up to something. The passage leads you northwards. The rocky floor becomes sandy until eventually you are walking on coarse sand. You notice the passage is widening and ahead you can hear a flowing river. I've heard about this river. Who knows what lives in it? You continue until you find yourself in a large cavern through which a river flows. You are on the south bank of an underground river facing across its black depths. There appears to be 4 ways of crossing. To your left, a rusted bell bears a sign, "Ferry service, 2 gold pieces. Please ring." There's also a small raft in front of you on the bank with a long stick resting beside it, which you could use to punt across the river. How much gold do we have? With 5 gold. A rickety old bridge also crosses the water to your right. It winds its way into the darkness of the cavern. Not sure who would use a ferry down here, but maybe that's my best option. I'm not sure I trust that bridge. Yeah, I will do the same actually. Swim, yeah. The bell gives you a dull clunk, and after a few moments out of the darkness you see a withered old man rowing a small boat. He rows slowly across to you, moves the boat, and leans towards you. Speak. The ferryman asks you for 3 gold pieces. When you protest at the price, he humbles some flimsy excuse about inflation. He begins to get angry at your protestations. Alright, pay that. He comes down, takes the gold, and rows you across the north bank. After mooring the boat, he ambles off down a passageway. Oops. You're now standing on the north bank in the large underground cavern. The most striking thing is a massive structure to the north. Built on the cave wall itself, it emanates a feeling of dread as it looms over the riverbank. To the right of the huge structure is a smaller but still imposing building in the cave wall. Directly to the east is a wooden building near the bridge. Half-finished wooden boats lie nearby, as though in progress. To the west is a small wooden shack, probably large enough to house the living quarters for a single person. Yeah, let's explore the shack. You walk across the sandy riverbank leading to the nearby shack. There is a door leading into the shack, which seems to be unlocked. You're in a small, foul-smelling room. You notice 2 doors, one to the west and one behind you to the south. The furniture in the room is sparse and has been made mostly from bits of old boats. There appears to be nothing of value in the room. An old man in ragged clothes is slumped asleep on a bench made from half a rowing boat, snoring loudly. Is this the same person? Next to him is a vicious-looking brown dog with red eyes and black teeth. You have awoken and that it's now eyeing you suspiciously. A deep growl is coming from its throat. Just what I need at this point in the quest, an overprotective dog growling at me. Let's wake him up. The old man's eyes flutter open. He sees you and grabs a half-oar lying by his bench. You tell him you mean no harm, but he remains on guard and eyes you cautiously. Although he looks harmless enough, his dog could be dangerous. The man's boots are undone. Tell him his boots are undone. The old man thanks you and rather sheepishly ties up his boots. You explain that you mean no harm, and he calms down, calling off his dog. It's even unlocked, made you look. Become friends with the old man in the shack. This area is the only passageway through to the inner chambers. Some years ago the river swelled after a particularly severe spring thaw and cut off supplies from the outside world. All the area's inhabitants starved to death, but the master, realizing he needed defense against the outside world, put a curse on the area. The last remaining creatures became the undead and now guard the passageways through. He starts to inquire about you. When you begin talking, he becomes angry and bids you be gone. He'll have nothing to do with the adventurers. His dog senses his anger and snarls menacingly. Thank him and exits through the south door. Backing away from the dog, you reach the door and slip out through it. You return to the north bank of the river. follow the faint, sandy path leading to an imposing building in the cave wall. While not as large as the building to the north, it is nonetheless magnificently grand. It towers above you and cannot help but wonder how untitled the thing was built. At the top of the... what is this? Having opened the door, it grinds against the floor in protest. Entering, you find yourself in an where is it? Possessing or exhibiting great wealth, affluent, characterized by anyway, you get it. You are overwhelmed by the sight of thousands upon thousands of bottles lining the shelves of the room. Fine carved furniture is placed strategically around the chamber. Ooh. Waiting for you inside is a tall woman, wearing a long dark gown and a spiked crown. Welcome, Alexander of Blacksand. I'm Oriana, the Keeper of Souls. You don't know me, or maybe you do, can never remember, but rest assured your player does. Do not be alarmed, I'm here to help you. It's almost as if she's suggesting I have some unknown force controlling me. What folly, I like this. Okay, can you sell something? You ask the Soul Keeper if she wants to buy anything from you. She gives you an unsettling smile. Show me what you have and I'll offer you a price. After rummaging around in your backpack, Oriana is interested in the following. Okay. Crucifix, really? What can we buy? You ask the Soul Keeper if she has anything for sale. She gives you an unsettling smile. Give me some gold and I'll give you some gifts. They're not really gifts if I have to give you gold for them. Cannot afford anything, but... Come on. What can you tell me about the domain of the dead? You ask the Soul Keeper. She pauses for a moment, but her face remains expressionless and without emotion. A place cursed by Zagor, created to provide an army of restless souls, each of which will endlessly guard his inner sanctum. I find it to be a useful location to be near, considering my line of work. However, I'm not without my own protection. Many so-called heroes have become nothing more than tortured spirits to gather Warlock's treasure. I would advise you to be prepared. Zagor is rumored to have a hoard of treasure. Do you know anything about it? You ask Oriana. She raises an eyebrow quizzically, then answers. She spoke. Ah yes, of course. The Warlock guards his treasure well. It is kept under lock and key within a magical treasure chest. He never keeps the 3 keys with him, instead choosing to cast a spell on them. Each key is securely guarded and changes position within the mountain each time someone enters. The more key used to open the chest, the greater the reward within. She hands you a large key. I have found one of these keys during my travels. I give it to you. Do with it what you will. Nice. You bid the Soulkeeper goodbye. Her presence makes you somewhat uneasy, and you are eager to leave. Goodbye, Alexander of Blacksand, she says. I know we shall meet again, if not during this adventure, then during your next one. Not understanding what she means, you leave for the large structure set into the cave walls. Let's check the wooden building. You head towards the wooden building. The only means of entry appears to be a solid-looking wooden door. Side above the door reads Boathouse. The door is firmly locked by a small barred window, allows you to look inside. You can see a number of skeletons working on the building. What? You can see a number of skeletons working on building a boat of some sort. That's just weird. They move in a series of quick, jerky actions, rather insect-like. Yeah, goodbye with that. Good luck with that, I mean. You walk along the sand to the massive structure. A set of stone steps leads upwards into the structure itself. Near the steps, a path leads west to the tower, leading upwards on the side of the main structure. You decide to walk westwards and reach the tower. The sandy path continues until you reach some stone steps that lead upwards. Just as you are about to climb the steps, you suddenly feel angry about being here, within Firetop Mountain, chasing some vague quests. I should have killed Keith when he suggested he send me on this awful quest. I really want to leave this place. Something strange seems to be happening to you, and it seems to be getting worse. Your anger and frustration increases. This place is affecting you somehow. Minus 1 luck. Hey, that minus 1 luck from 9, because I had plus 1 before, doesn't mean 6. Alright, let's back to the main entrance. I feel much calmer now. I have left the tower. That was a strange feeling. You follow the steps leading up into the looming building. Looking upwards, you occasionally see golden glints on the ceiling. You wonder if there is a gold vein running through the ceiling of the cavern. The golden glints begin to disappear, followed by a high-pitched shrieking and the heavy sound of leathery wings. That does sound good. The giant bats swarm down towards you, ready to attack. Okay. Is everything... Yeah, everything appears to be working. Although, wait. My face again looks really strange. Not strange. Very bright. Seriously. Okay. Much better. Alright, let's see. Why do you lose it? I don't get that. I really don't. How can you... That's BS. Okay, I think I'm gonna lose this one. Okay, can we do something? Like take... No, there's no inventory screen. With the giant bats slain, you cautiously continue up the stairs. Thankfully there are no more creatures lurking in the darkness and you reach the top safely. Surrounding you is an eerie graveyard. There are gravestones littered about, and trees made from stone cast ominous shadows across the ground. Nearby there is a bench where you may rest. A skull leers at you from an archway. I think the sound is a bit too loud. We'll find out later, I guess. Nearby there's a bench you may rest. Oh! A skull leers at you from an archway. It appears to be the entrance to a crumbling bridge of stairs that traverses a large pit, glowing with an ethereal blue light. Wait. Sounding is in... The feeling of death and decay surrounds you, and you sense that this place is one of an arcane ancient evil. Let's sit down, I guess. Rest and consume provisions, yes. You sit down here, okay. Plus 10. Surrounding you is yeah. Let's leave. You begin to cross the vast dark void using the ominous bridge. Swirling around below you in the depths of the void are the trapped souls of the dead. The souls begin to rise before bursting suddenly forth from the void, encompassing the bridge. Their wails fill your ears and you look on in horror as some of the shapes materialize in front of you. You have disturbed our rest, one of the ghosts whispers. Now you must join us in our eternal slumber. Okay. 9-4. Oh, this is gonna be tough, isn't it? Oh, that sucks. Cannot go there. That was funny. The ghosts slowly sink back into the depths of the swirling void. One of them remains and addresses you. You have proven your worth, Alexandra Lightstorm of Port Blacksand. Enter the domain of the dead at your peril. The Lord of the Undead will not be as kind as we would have been. It knows my name. This is impossible. The last spirit sinks through the floor and joins the others back at the gloom below. A tall carved archway looms ahead of you. To either side and above, rows of black windows face the gloom of the cavern. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Out of the corner of your eye, you see faces staring at you from the darkness, only to then disappear. Okay. Bravely, you step through the imposing entrance and make your way inside. You reach the end of the path. A strange stone pillar decorated with monstrous bones supports the room. There are paths leading to the left and the right, and a wooden ladder to the left of the stone pillar leads upwards. You climb the ladder, which leads to a trapdoor. You give it a heave, clamber through, then hear it slam down behind you. The room is about 8 meters square. That's tiny. Well, not tiny, but small. With another ladder on the far wall. Standing motionless in the center of the room are 4 men. At least they appear to be men. The skin is greeny grey color. The clothes are tattered and torn. They are all staring vacantly at the ceiling. One carries a club, one a scythe, one an axe, and one a pick. They're ignoring you completely. Zombies. I really don't like zombies. Oh, well, okay, this is creepy. Around the room are various peasant-style weapons, such as pitchforks, axe handles, and pointed sticks. Several barrels are scattered around the room, and there is another ladder in the far corner. In the northeast corner is a human corpse with a sword in one hand and a shield in the other. The strange creatures in the center of the room have stopped looking vacantly and are now focusing on you. Let's run towards the other ladder. The 4 men stare into action and stumble towards you, their weapons ready. You start to scramble back to the trapdoor, but you do not know if you can make it. Your foot steps on loose pebble and you fall to the ground. Before you can regain your footing, the creatures are upon you. Prepare for combat. The zombies shuffle towards you slowly but relentlessly. The vacant eyes suggest that their actions are controlled by a will which is not their own. You must act quickly. The first zombie reaches you and prepares to sink his club. With 2 health remaining, I don't know. Okay, they'll probably come this way. Don't know if they can attack diagonally or not. Come on. Okay, they might, if they can only attack like a cross, that's good. Poop. Defeat. You are overcome by your enemies. Oh dear, looks like the mountain has claimed yet another victim. Would like to use the resurrection stone and return Alexandra of Blacksand to the last resting bench you encountered? Yes. You sit down on the bench and take out a portion of provisions from your pack. Your moment of rest combined with your healthy provisions make you feel much better. Okay, so it's like exactly before. Alright, let's explore it now. Why not? Test your luck. You find something. Tucked behind one of the gravestones is a red flask. You found a potion of strength. Potion of strength. Okay, I used it, but okay, so it's the same as before, I think. I think it can only attack diagonally. Keep attacking. Yeah. Good. Okay, that's a problem. Cannot go there. Cannot go. Okay, let's go there and kill it. Oh, I got lucky. Nice. One second. I have only one provisions. Okay, so I don't replenish them. The ghosts slowly sink back into the depths of the swirling void. One of them remains, addresses you. Okay, so the same one. Let me see if I can actually save the game, or do I have to continue? I don't know. Okay, so it auto saves, including when you exit the game. Okay, I'm gonna stop in 5-10 minutes, I think. Getting tired. Alright, let's try something else. Let's go left. There's a tense feeling in the air as you enter this room. Grim-looking armored skeletons stand guard near a set of stairs leading upwards. The room itself is littered with bones and skulls. Suddenly the skeleton guards stationed by the stairs shudder to life. You can't just climb around our stairs any way you please. Look at their boots, disgraceful. Who knows where they have been traipsing? Traipsing? Okay, another new word for me. I get upset. I mean, I get it actually, but still. Don't think I would kill anyone for mud in their shoes. On their shoes. Okay, 6-6, 6-6. How can they attack? I don't know. That's not good. It's supposed to be simultaneous. How? I don't know. Okay, so he'll go there. Okay. You strike the skeleton guard in the final blow, and they shatter into bony pieces which scatter across the stone floor. Whatever magic was animating these creatures has now been dispelled. Wondering what they were guarding, you proceed up the stone steps. You enter a large, sinister chamber that has a large, sculpted mural placed on the wall. The skeletal wall is on display, wreathed and contoured, and it feels as if the wall is alive. That doesn't sound good. The air is thick with a sense of dread, and the room is dank and dreary. Candlesticks light the way through. Zago really likes the lay of the feelings of unease, doesn't he? We'll decide if you are worthy of your aid. We will decide if you are worthy of our aid, adventurer. Experience the ordeal of fear. Suddenly, for no apparent reason, you feel afraid. Very afraid. You're terrified. Okay. Despite being more afraid than you have ever felt before, you concentrate hard. In your mind's eye, you see a shining light and focus on it. But alas, the light vanishes, swallowed up by the darkness of fear. You break out into a cold sweat, and your heart begins to beat faster and faster. The sheer terror is horrifying. Then the fear vanishes. Feeble-minded fool, sighs a ghostly voice. It's a need to steal your nerve more than that to make it through the horrors found within the domain of the dead. Ah, that's terrible. You have entered a large circular chamber. The most striking feature here is a large stone bowl. It is filled with a dark red liquid which is bubbling vigorously. Aside from this mysterious looking pool, there is also a spiral staircase set behind the wall. I like the effects there on the left, the skeletons. Another entrance opposite you and a hole on the floor. I want to drink. A chalice would be useful. In the sticky warm liquid and raise it to your lips. As you do, you realize you're holding a handful of blood. Nonetheless, you decide to take a drink. You gag as the vile liquid goes down your throat and fall to your knees. Your head spins and nausea overwhelms you. Your foolish actions have damned you with a blood curse. You do not know the effects it will have, but you suspect that you shall soon find out. May be positively refreshing. Quaff an interesting drink. Head north. Funny. You climb the stairs and find yourself in a dark crypt of some kind. At one end is an altar, and various coffins are strewn around the room. Okay. There's an opening in the wall through to another room on your left. The silence is deathly. A slow drip startles you as you creep around the coffins. The altar is ornately carved and studded with jewels. Beautifully woven drapes hang from the walls, although they are threadbare in places. There are 3 coffins in the room. Light from your lanterns falls on the largest coffin, which is open. You can hear a very gentle snoring coming from the open coffin. It seems that someone or something is sleeping inside. Should I wake them up? Wake. Or, quite. Cautiously you prepare to creep towards the coffin and the source of the snoring. As you approach, ghostly figures rise from the ground and begin to drift around the room. They must have been alerted by your presence. Suddenly you see a rather large rat scurrying from one of the walls and run across the room. The ghosts give a horrifying shriek, envelop the rat, then vanish. Then there is nothing. With the ghost gone due to your stroke of luck, you can easily reach the coffin now. Cautiously peer into the coffin. The creature you are facing is a vampire. You have various lines of attack. You may attack him directly, but this will prove difficult. A crucifix will hold him at bay, but will not kill him. If you are determined to kill the vampire, you must overpower him and drive a wooden stake through his heart. I cannot do them. Let's just talk to him. You lean over into the coffin, shake the vampire and wake it. Excuse me, you ask. Do you know the whereabouts of Zagur? Its eyes instantly flick open, and it hisses at you. I do, but you shall never see him. It pulls you into the coffin with its vice-like grip. Your last living memory is a flash of pain as his sharp teeth sink into your neck. You should never have decided to wake a sleeping vampire. Your adventure ends here. Oh dear, it looks like the mountain has claimed yet another victim. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna stop for now. Fun. Definitely fun. I'm gonna continue playing. I don't know when. Perhaps tomorrow. We'll see. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.